If you find that you often have tension, tightness, or soreness in your neck or shoulders, or you spend a lot of time in front of the computer, or you may have a tendency to frequently get headaches, then this practice is definitely a great one for you to have in your tool belt. I'm Sara Raymond with the Mindful Movement, and I'm excited to bring you this practice, introducing you to the RAD myofascial release tools, and give you a practice that you can go to when you do have some of those symptoms that I mentioned before. So a quick introduction to the tools we're going to use, and then we'll get right into it. So RAD, R-A-D, is a company who makes this, and today we're going to be using the RAD roller, which is this one here. It looks like two balls connected, and this one is the green one, which is slightly softer. If you have the blue one, it's a little bit more firm. That would be fine too, really just a personal preference. And then the other tools that we're going to be using come in a set of three, the RAD rounds. And we're going to be using the largest and the smallest of the three balls. And then you don't necessarily need to have the RAD block, but any yoga block would do, or hardcover book, or firm surface to support the tools and your head when we get to that part. So we'll begin with the tools to the side, and we'll start with a short breathing practice to give you an opportunity to check in with yourself and kind of find a baseline of where you are as you start the practice so that you can see how you progress. So find a comfortable seated posture, or if you'd like to do your breathing practice lying down, that would be fine too. Settle into as straight of a spine as you can, whether you're sitting or lying down. Perhaps close your eyes if you'd like, letting your attention begin to turn inward. And then at first, just notice how your body is feeling. And in particular, we're paying attention to the area of the neck and shoulders for this practice. So are you feeling any tension, tightness, anything really? You don't necessarily even have to notice tension. And then for our breath practice today, we'll work through a 4-count inhale, a 7-count hold, and an 8-count exhale. Of course, adjusting for your own needs as is necessary. So when you're ready, exhaling fully, and then breathing in through your nose. Hold for 7. Breathe out slowly for a count of 8. Again, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just continue on your own, in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. Adjusting the count as you need. One more breath, 4, 7, 8. And as you complete this last cycle of 4, 7, 8, let your breath return or normalize, releasing the counting. And then when you're ready, blinking your eyes open. Start to lift your shoulders up towards your ears and just notice the feeling here. And then lower your shoulders down away from your ears. One more time like that. Again, just assessing. And then you can tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. Just mirror you here. And take your time coming back upright and then other side. Notice range of motion, ease of motion. And we'll do one more to each side, no rush, just noticing, again, range and effort level or ease of motion. And back up to center. Awesome. So we'll start to use the tools now, and we'll keep assessing along the way. So let's start with the smallest round, and we'll use this to massage around the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw. So you can press as firmly as you like. The general rule of thumb is, number one, you can breathe fluidly, meaning whatever you're doing isn't causing you to hold your breath. And number two, you're pressing firmly enough where you feel sensation, yet not so firm that the muscle you're pressing on tightens in response. All right, so we'll get started. So the ball, the small ball, is going to go into the bony surfaces of the face. So you'll push either with fingers or you can use your palm, and you're just pressing, again, firmly enough that you feel some pressure, but not so much that muscles are tightening. Follow the line of the bone. So you can press right against the side of your nose. Great for opening the sinuses. Follow the line around your eye socket. And then down into your jaw. So right about where your earlobe is, there's a little indentation. You can press the ball there. Probably you can tolerate pretty firm pressure here. And either just hold here, or if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and open and close your jaw. And then you might travel alongside the jaw, the length of the jaw. Again, breathing fluidly, making sure that you're not holding your breath. And for all of these self-massage techniques, feel free to stay as long as you like, or change what I'm offering so that it feels good. Pain is not what we're going for sure on this. And then you can take the ball above your eyebrow and just roll it along the surface of your forehead, maybe into the temple. So again, these are great if you have headaches, sinus headaches, pressure around your face or eyes. All right, stay on that side a little longer if you'd like, or feel free to go to the other side. So again, pressing next to the nose. You might even press in and pull out to the side a little, so that'll open up the nasal passage. And again, roll along the bone of the eye socket. I always tend to have a lot of tension in there. I would imagine that's probably from looking at the computer screen a lot. Challenge of having an online business. You spend a lot of time in front of the computer. And then again, near the jaw. So the hinge of the jaw is right about in line with the earlobe. There's a little indentation there. So either pressing and holding, or opening and closing your jaw. So everyone's body is going to be a little bit different, or even a lot different. So you can come down along the jaw. So what feels good and effective for me may not feel good and effective for you. So explore a little bit, curiosity, understanding that your intention is to, take care of yourself and do things that are beneficial and effective for your body. Go again alongside the above the eyebrow. And then anywhere that you feel is effective for your body, anywhere you might need a little more attention, take a moment to do so on either side of your face. Okay, and then just relax your arms by your sides or in your lap. Close your eyes and take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And slow, patient exhale, noticing how you feel. And then as you again blink your eyes open, we'll move on. So we're going to move now to the neck and the upper shoulder area. So we'll make our way down onto our back. Just have the tools close by so you don't have to get up. Feel free to elevate the head for comfort if you need. Otherwise, you can lie down, legs straight or bent. And then again, we'll do a quick assessment to see how your body is feeling. So just first noticing the state of your neck and your shoulders. Do you feel tightness in your chest? Do you feel the back of the shoulders touching down? Do you feel ease or tension? And then lift your arms towards the ceiling and begin to reach your arms towards the wall behind you, nice and slow, and see where you might meet resistance in terms of your range of motion. Do you stop before you hit the floor? Do you feel tightness or pinching or clicking? Not an indication of your self-worth, but more just how your body is functioning today. And then move this out to the side a little bit. We're going to just do a nice big circle. Lift your arms up, reach them as far back as you can. Maybe rotate the palms towards the ceiling if that feels okay. And then take your arms out to the sides and down to the hips and back towards the ceiling. Do that one more time. Noticing range and ease. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and just lower the arms here. And we're going to start at the neck and work our way down to the shoulder area. So for this, you'll need the rad roller. My rounds are rolling all over the place. And the possibility of something to elevate your head. So not everyone is going to need this, and I'll walk you through kind of how to choose or not. So if I show you without the block first, so the rad roller is going to be horizontally placed, and you'll lift your head up, and if you can feel the two bony points at the base of the skull, we're going to place the roller just below those two bony points, centered with the spine. Now, for me, when I put my head down, the roller just rolls down. And that's just based on the curve of my neck. So I need a little bit more elevation. So I'm going to use the block, and I'll show you how it goes if you're going to use it too. So it is long ways under the head, and then I'll place the roller on the block and then my head on the roller, so that again the two sides of the ball is just below the bony points of my head. And then relax your arms by your side once you decide how to set up the tools. And at any point, feel free to close your eyes, let your awareness turn inward, and then begin to let the weight of your body relax into the roller. And then you're breathing deeply, slowly, patiently. You want to think about your breath sending a signal to your body, to your mind, to your nervous system that you're safe, and this pressure that you're experiencing is okay. It's not a threat, right? So if our body senses threat, it will tighten up against whatever the input or the tool is in contact with you. So after about 4 or 5 breaths, you feel maybe an easing into the tool. And at that point, you are welcome to add a little bit of movement. So maybe tipping your head backwards and forwards. So nice slow movements. And if you find that your body is responding or reacting in a way that causes you to feel more tension, then it's probably too much pressure. So you could either pause and take a few breaths, and if that doesn't help, then perhaps in this case you would remove the block, or maybe this isn't such a great option for you today. So once you've moved your head up and down a few times, notice where along that range it feels the best for you or the most effective. And then hold there, and then we'll turn our head side to side, and you can see this is a pretty small motion. And what it feels like to me is the skin on the back of my neck is moving side to side, more so than lifting up and turning my head. You can stay there or reposition the head in a slightly different place and do the same. And then you'll come back to center. Take a couple breaths, just like we started in this position, to signal your body and your mind to relax. Send the signal that you're safe. Letting the weight of the body settle into the floor, into the tools beneath you. And then when you feel ready, we'll take our time and begin to remove the tools from underneath of your head. And then as gently and relaxed as you can, lower your head back to the floor and very slowly turn your head to the right and turn your head to the left. And back to center, and then we'll continue on down. So the next tool we'll use is the larger of the 3 of the rounds or the balls. So it's the kind of bright green one. And we're going to start with the ball in the left hand. And if you hold it with your fingers and then place the heel of your left hand on the right collarbone. So you're reaching across your body, and then you're wrapping your hand around to place the ball. So in terms of landmarks, I'm just at the top border of my shoulder blade, and then I'm somewhere in between the side border of my right shoulder blade and my spine. And then once the ball is in place, you can let your body weight settle into it. And at this point, for me, on this side, I don't have a ton of pressure, so I'm going to be relaxed relatively quickly. But if you need a few more breaths, you can take a few more breaths to relax into the tool. And then once you feel relaxed, meaning there's no gripping or tightening, then we can add some movement. And I like to just start with lifting the arm up towards the ceiling and then reaching back. And for me, the farther I go back, the more pressure I feel onto that tool. So I take my time, I'm going to keep breathing fluidly, and then find the spot that is the most effective. So for me, that's pretty much overhead. And I'll just kind of let my arm hang out here, take a few breaths. Maybe turn your head a little bit and see if that changes the pressure. And then you're welcome, as always, to stay a little longer, or you can explore some other arm movements, maybe out to the side or bending your elbow. And just see what feels like it's the most effective for you. You may even subtly shift the ball up, down, or slightly to one side or the other. I would avoid putting it directly on your spine. We'll take another 30 seconds or so, anywhere that feels like it's the most effective for you. And then take your time, remove the ball from underneath of your right shoulder, let your arms rest by your side. Notice if maybe there's a difference between your right shoulder and neck area compared to the left. And then let's take our same assessment. So lifting the arms up towards the ceiling and reaching back. Notice the difference between your right and left side. For me, my right arm feels so much more free and easy. So of course we'll want to do the other side so that they come a little closer to matching. So hold the ball in your right fingers, reach your hand over. So the heel of your hand is on your left collarbone, and then we take the ball around the shoulder to the back side of your body. So again, landmarks just about the top border of the shoulder blade, slightly inside of the left shoulder blade, between that side border and the spine. And for me, this side is always a little bit tighter. So I might need a few extra breaths to relax. Again, send the signal that this tool is not a threat. We can relax into it. And then start to explore some movement if you feel relatively relaxed here. So perhaps reaching the arm overhead. You might think of it as kind of like digging for treasure, right? You have to explore around and see what you find. And for me, this side is quite different than the right, so I might have to choose a different position for my arm to hang out in and take a couple breaths, or I might choose a different position of my arm altogether. See what makes sense in your body, what is productive to help release tension, continue to have the feeling of safety. Again, you can move your head around a little bit if that feels like it's useful. Bend your elbow. Reposition the balls in a slightly different spot. I think one of the extra benefits to this practice is self-awareness, right? Yes, we're giving ourselves a massage, which is beneficial for sure, but because you are exploring and you're seeing what feels best for you, you're really creating a connection with yourself and your needs. And I think that's really necessary these days, and it's a beautiful, beneficial practice. Much more so than the physical, well, in addition to, I should say, the physical benefits to this practice. Okay, so I could probably stay here all day long, but I won't do that to you. So if you feel ready to move on, take your time and remove the ball. And we will again assess. So first, just relaxing your arms. Do you feel that the backs of the shoulders are now a little equally touching the mat? And then lift your arms towards the ceiling. Slowly reach them back. Notice range and ease in comparison to the first time that you did this motion. Okay, let's continue on down, and we'll go back to the rad roller. And again, I'll show you where to place it. It's going to be going horizontally. And I think the best way, in my opinion, to get into this position is to roll to your side, come up to kind of a reclined position. And not everyone's shoulders are gonna love this, so I'll give you another option. But we want to be placing the roller horizontally somewhere between the shoulder blades, where the spine lines up in the groove between the two sides. And just like every other self-massage we've done so far, everyone's going to be different, so you find a place that feels good for you. And for some of us, we're going to need a head support, so that block under the head might be handy, or something to elevate your head so it's not feeling like you're straining through your neck. So if you feel like you're getting a good massage, you stay there. If you feel like it's not quite in the right place, you might scooch yourself down or up. And if you're fairly open in this position, you might not need any head support. So if you can easily touch your head down and you don't create any excess strain in the neck, and for me, I don't think that is the case today. Okay, so, and I should say that this might not be the best for everyone, right? So because this is fairly firm and these muscles can tend to be tight or knotty, if you feel like you're tightening or you can't breathe, then you might need to skip this one. Or again, support the head is going to really help take some pressure off. Okay. So once you find the position of the tool that is best for your body, you'll take a few breaths. Again, letting your body settle into the tool, recognizing it's safe. And that might be enough for you. You might just hang out here and breathe. If you feel like you could handle a little bit more pressure or changing of pressure without creating excess tension, then we can explore some more arm movements. So just like we did before, but since we're on both sides, you'll use both arms, reaching back, maybe out to the side, bending your elbows or keeping them straight. Just explore. You can also move your head gently, just like we did before. And because the muscles we are addressing are attached to the shoulder blades, when you move the shoulder blades, it moves the muscles or exposes more of the muscle. So if you take your arms up towards the ceiling and wrap your one arm over the other, trying to reach around and grab your shoulder blades behind you. That is going to spread the shoulder blades out, stretch the muscles out. And then when you go to open the arms again to the side, maybe you hit slightly different area. So you can play around with that a bit. A couple deep breaths. And you may find that over time, you might not need the head support anymore, and you can arch back over the roller without it, without creating any tension. Okay, take another 30 seconds or so, a couple more slow, patient breaths. And then, because we don't want to be increasing the pressure at this point, the best way to come off of this is really just to roll off of it to the side. And then remove the tool, roll onto your back again. And then let's assess that same arm movement and see if maybe we've made some progress. Reaching back. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to feel some loosening and some ease, release of tension. So the next spot, the last spot we're going to do, one on each side, is going to be the side of the shoulder blade. So if you reach your right arm over your head, and then with your left hand, see if you can feel the side border of your shoulder blade. So by lifting your arm overhead, it kind of sticks out to the side. So we are going to be placing the rad roller around that area. So if I show you from the side, it'll go horizontally, but instead of where we were before the spine was in the groove, we're going to try to line up the side border of your shoulder blade with the groove of the roller. And then we'll turn onto our side. So I'm going to just grab my block for a little bit of head support. You may or may not need it. So once you've found the side border of your shoulder blade and you know where to place the roller, you'll roll onto your side and adjust here. So this can be fairly intense. I won't lie about that. But you can use your top hand to take a little bit of weight out of the roller. And just like we have done with all of the others, we'll take a few breaths to settle. And I always think of the shoulder blade as about the size of a closed hand. So if you are wondering if the tool is in the right place, you really can go anywhere along the height of the shoulder blade. I would avoid the armpit though, really. There's some lymph nodes in there. You don't want to be putting your pressure there. Ooh, that's a little tender. So just like all of the other varieties, if you are feeling like you're relaxed, you're not gripping or holding, then you can add a little bit of movement. So two different varieties or two different directions, a little up, a little down, oh my, which you can tell is a little bit intense for me today. And then the other movement would be slightly forward and back. So you're just rotating your shoulders, and really it's maybe 2 inches or so in each direction. It's not huge. But if you're feeling like it's too much pressure, you again just stay in one place, breathe, use your top hand to help support you, make sure your head is elevated. that's about all I can handle today. If you need, or if you want to stay longer, you stay longer. And then we'll make our way off of this tool when you're ready. So you can just press yourself up. And then we'll take our time moving over to the other side. So to find the side border of the shoulder blade again, on the left side, lifting your left arm, use your right hand to palpate around and see if you can locate the side of that shoulder blade. And then remember, our tool is going horizontally so that the side of the shoulder blade fits right inside of that groove. All right, so let's make our way into the position and work to settle as much as you can. Breathing deeply. You can always come back to the 4, 7, 8 breath that we started with. That's a really nice way to relax your body, calm the nervous system, find ease in your physical body as well as your mind. So again, adjust the height of the roller if you feel like it's not quite in the right place for you. And you may find one side is different than the other. That's very common. And so adjusting for each side as well. Okay, and then again, once you feel like you've created a little bit of ease, a little bit of relaxation into the tool, you can add some movement up and down. Nothing huge, just changing the pressure. And then you'll move into a slightly more forward and backward motion. So shoulders maybe rotating an inch or two in each direction. Okay, and then maybe taking another 1 or 2 deep breaths. And as you are ready, we can remove that tool. And then let's come to lie on our back once more, getting all the tools out of the way. So find the position that you started in, knees bent or straight, arms by your sides. Notice where the back of your shoulders are landing. And then gently turn your head to one side and the other, noticing how you're feeling. And back to center. And then lift your arms towards the ceiling, reach them overhead. Just notice ease of motion, range of motion. Maybe you're able to touch the floor above your head and you weren't before. And then lifting your arms back and to your sides again. Take your time, remain as relaxed as you can as you roll onto one side, and then press yourself up to seated. And then our final assessment is back to where we started at the beginning. So you can lift your shoulders up towards your ears and just notice how they're feeling. And then let them drop down. Ease in the shoulders, and then tip your ear towards one shoulder and the other. And back to center. Well, I really hope that you found some relief from that practice. Know that you can take any of those single variations and use them on their own, or do the whole practice as a whole. So your choice completely. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the link to buy those products are in the description box below. And stay tuned for more in the series of rad myofascial release exercises for various parts of the body. So I hope to see you again on the mat. Thanks.